for Florida football. The Gator Sports Network from Learfield.
The Florida Gators play here. Listen to select games on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Scott Graham here from Thursday Night Football on Westwood One. Jason Benetti and Devin McCourty have the call as Week 6 of the season kicks off with NFC East action between the Eagles and the Giants. Philadelphia, the defending Super Bowl champions, are coming off their first loss of the season last week. Can they get their repeat hopes back on track? Find out on Thursday Night Football.
Eagles versus Giants. Coverage starts at 6:30 on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
WVLQ Point St. Joe, WGSX-LG, powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
And now, the Gulf Coast's newest sports talk host.
Hey, there's the new guy.
Paul Wilson.
That is not winning football.
Paul is your pipeline to the heart of the action.
The defense can only play this good for so long.
Hot takes, big reactions, and your calls are incoming.
This week, it's really going to be crucial.
The Sports Blitz.
They're playing championship football.
The new Sports Blitz.
You can say what you want.
At 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
What time it is. It's hump day here on Wednesday. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, the undisputed, never compromising sports talk show in the Panhandle. So good to have you here listening, whether you're listening on the Facebook app or the ESPN app, or you're listening on the radio. Either way, we love you. We appreciate you. As always on Thursday, in his orange today.
Wednesday.
Brandon, how you doing, Brandon?
Doing good, guys. Doing good. Very blessed. Blessed to be here. Blessed to be able to drive to the state of Tennessee after the show's over. Blessed to go watch the Volunteers play this Saturday. Man, and I'm also blessed that we have, what is it? I think I heard it's 49 consecutive days of football starting today all up until November 26th. So congratulations, and
that's good.
Blessed for all that.
Yeah, we're exactly right. And as always, on a Wednesday, Jeffrey. How you doing, Jeffrey?
I'm doing good.
Love the Saints shirt.
26th of November. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like 6 weeks of every day.
It's something to celebrate.
Yeah, well, you know what? Let's just go ahead. You know, Jeffrey, you're wearing the Saints shirt. I mean,
and you know what?
This is awesome. Did you break it out? I mean, because obviously they haven't won yet except for once. So finally gets to wear the shirt that you bought. And it's a nice one. Looks like you've never worn it. It's so nice.
It was not in a box.
Back in the closet. I know your Ole Miss, your LSU shirts are all stacked in front of them.
Here's this. LSU, you're right. The LSU shirt. I have an Ole Miss shirt.
Who's been in my house?
I know. I have an Ole Miss shirt that's more used than the Saints
one.
shirt.
Yeah, but you know what, man? It looks good.
But the sad part is I've got like 2 LSU long sleeve shirts. I'll never wear them because they won't win in December or January.
Well, let me just go ahead and give you this. Don't buy a Saints shirt that's a long sleeve either, because they're not going to win.
It'll be an undershirt. It'll be embarrassed to wear it.
Yeah. Turn that thing inside out and see if it works both ways.
Yeah.
But either way.
Yeah, I mean, well, Tennessee's playing Arkansas this week, right?
Yes, we're going to talk heavy about that for sure.
We got to include Bone Crusher.
Yeah, he's wearing my favorite.
Falcons playing.
Yeah, but he's wearing my favorite drink, the Grape-A-Co in the house. Bone Crusher, how you doing today?
I don't want to use the word hero too much, but the guy at the Dollar General let me in front of him because he had a cart full of stuff, and I just had one little pack of donuts. So thank you, hero.
Was those keto donuts?
I think you fell off his diet wagon.
You fall off the wagon, did you?
Fell off the pork chop and cream cheese diet, yeah.
Oh, that's all right. We've all done it. Haven't we, Jeff?
Cheat day.
He'll be a vodka file next week.
Oh, no. But either way, you can call in. You can text in on the Red 7T phone line, 850-215-6290. I know, guys, this is not sports related, but it is Louisiana related, and I always love bringing that stuff up. Do you know that they just finally caught the last guy that left the jail? That
Left the jail. He ran out of the jail.
And they caught him. In
Atlanta.
They had to break in May. So they escaped prison in Louisiana. Was it New Orleans?
It's New Orleans jail. It's not prison. It's
kind of like prison in that jail.
Well, it's pretty shady. I haven't been in there yet, but I'm not wanting to check in.
So, yeah, they just caught him. They caught him in Atlanta.
Yeah.
But they had the break in May, though.
Wow.
So all the way from May until now.
So it was like six. I think it caught like 6 of them within like
it was quick.
3 days or 4 days, and then it caught like 7, 8, 9, and this was the 10th guy, and all the way in Atlanta he got away.
And
like
that's crazy that he made it this far, though. Like they were all looking for him and all that.
And it's funny because when it happened, and then they caught like the first few guys, I said, all these guys are dumb. They're all going west. They're looking for you going west. I said, they need to go east. And sure enough, this guy went east to Atlanta because that's where the Falcons fans are.
That's right. Yes, sir. So let me just ask you guys real quick what you think. Because obviously he's been out since May, and you think like a cousin or a brother or somebody turned him in because they offered him some money?
No. It's the exact opposite. They would have turned him up early. And I think this was, somebody.
Unless the reward just continued
The
to
reward got
stack
high.
and got higher until it was provoking to somebody.
No, New Orleans doesn't work like that. They're like, this is all the money we got. We got it from all these Cajuns and all that. We all put it in a pile.
No. That's the family reunion. That's the food. That's not the cash.
Potluck.
I'm telling you, I know because I have a little bit of a background.
You got relatives.
I got a little bit of a background of how this whole thing works, and it would not surprise me at how he got caught. Was either a homeboy or a family relative. Turned him in because $5,000 is $5,000.
When somebody's desperate, it's a lot.
Yeah, that's right. So either way, he ain't never gave me $5,000. So I'm gonna take it from who will give it to.
I did read that though. The jail
so
break.
he did get. He got caught, and good for them.
It was a standoff though.
Yeah, they couldn't get him out of the house, so they had to use other methods.
Yeah.
And some of that stuff is wicked. I mean, they've got the pepper balls now that they can shoot into the windows and stuff that break the windows but go in there and explode, and it gets pretty tough. So either way, pretty crazy deal. So anyway, that was unsports related. We always got to share Louisiana or New Orleans news because of Jeffrey. But either way, we've got a big game tonight by 4 different teams in Major League Baseball. I know we don't always talk about football and football season, but this is where for baseball, this is really heavy and hot. So if you look at it, you got everybody's playing tonight. They're going to be all out there. There's going to be some implications of winning it. I think all of them are.
Well, Mariners and Blue Jays up 2-1.
Yeah, so 2-1. So it's a best of 5. So you win 3, you're wins.
Yeah,
so
win
you
3,
got the Yankees at 2-1. You got the
the Yankees are 1 and 2.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that game last night. It was a good game.
Mariners
that
up 2-1.
And then Mariners are up 2-1, and so are the Brewers.
Yeah.
They're up 2-1.
Dodgers are up 2-0.
And Dodgers are up 2-0. Yeah.
2-0.
Yeah. So, and let's talk about it. So last night, the Mariners won 8-4 over the Tigers. Hey, guys, it finally happened. Kyle Rowley, 2 for 4, 3 RBIs, and he hit his 61st home run last night.
That's Roger Maris's
number. And that
is
Roger Maris's number. Now, the cool thing about it was there was a guy in the outfield with a shirt on that said Big Dumper hit it here, number 61. And he caught the ball.
Wow. Then took his shirt off.
And it said the same thing with 62.
And it said Big Dumper hit it here, 62.
Oh,
he come prepared.
Yeah, so he was ready to go.
Actually got
and the ball went to him.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. So after the game, obviously, they go into the clubhouse, and the big dumper got the ball back, which I wouldn't have done.
Oh, man.
Either way,
what do you think the compensation for that was? What are you asking for if you catch the 61st home run and they're asking for it back? What is Paul Wilson asking for?
Oh, man, I think people are going to really think bad of me if I answer that on the air.
Is it straight up money?
Because it's money.
That's not the right answer. Nobody likes you if you just straighten up saying $20,000, $30,000. You know, because is that the range that you're thinking? 20 to 30?
Absolutely not. Way more than that.
Really?
I mean, that's less than one game check. I mean, that's a fraction of one of their game checks. To be honest.
So, do you really think they're going to bust out 100? No, they're not going to bust out 100,000.
Well, I mean, if they're not talking in the hundreds.
Now, this isn't his first playoff home run, is it?
Yes.
and
number 61.
They might cough up 100.
And number 61. So, but that's the thing. Like, you got to think about it. Look back over, and you're going to call, I'm probably going to get people calling me shallow, but I'm not. I'm just trying to retire early.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
But you got a family to feed.
Yeah, I got a family to feed. They're hungry.
I mean, money wouldn't even be the only thing I ask for. I want some season tickets. I want a couple of different things.
Well, he's not where we live.
Exactly. I mean, if
the tickets are not going to really be the thing.
Yeah, for me,
I'm saying if I caught my home run ball for my team and that was play, I mean, there would be certain things I'd be asking for.
My number would have been $250,000, just so you know.
I don't think they would.
I would have asked for $250,000, or it's going to be on eBay. You can bid there.
Yeah.
So there you go. I mean, because you got to look at it. The guy that called Mark McGwire's home run, he told him no, and told him his number, and they said no. And, it went for, I think it ended up being like $1.8 million. And I think he got 1.2.
Yeah, but that was different. I mean, everybody's anticipating that for years.
It is.
Yeah.
But
you got fanatics. That's what they're called, fans. They're fanatics. There's fanatics out there that would pay that or excess to have that ball sitting in their collection. So, I mean.
And you got to also think the tickets that were there for the seating, because left field is where they were, and like Mark McGwire's, they were in left field, so those tickets were way higher than any other ticket in the whole stadium. So even the front being by the players, all of that, the home run ball was the catch. Could you imagine you spent $10,000 for your seat and you end up being a millionaire because of that? That's a great return on your money. For sure.
100%.
Am I disillusioned?
Yes.
Yeah, I am disillusioned, by the way. Usually when I hit the long ball, it was always the right field. Am I swinging late? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
So are more home runs going to left field?
Well, when you're right-handed, normally they go to left field and you pull the ball.
Yeah.
Usually. Which in baseball now, they're teaching what they say is let it travel, let it get a little bit tighter, take it to opposite field. Center to right on right-handed batters, center to left on left-handed batters is where everybody wants to hit the baseball. But they're still, at the end of the day, they can teach all that mess they want to, but if they throw a fastball down the middle and you hit it right, and the fastball's coming in like they're throwing nowadays, it's going to go straight over just like what happened last night.
Yeah,
and that's the thing.
Not to mention, I mean, it's extremely hard, but as hard as they're throwing these days, to be early on a 104 or 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah, it's
so
tough.
most of the time, if you're making contact with it, you're going to be a little late. That thing's coming in hot.
If I was swinging early, it was like, okay, I'm swinging. It's not like, I see the ball is going to be a strike type thing.
Right.
You know?
You're just blind swinging like, hey, I'm getting out on it early and whatever happens, happens.
Yeah. So my long balls are always going right field. There's never left field, never.
So either way, we are going to go to the Red 70s phone line. We've got Edward calling from San Antonio. How about them Dodgers, Edward? What's going on, buddy?
What's going on, guys? Y'all are the most three handsome-looking men on.
That's what I'm talking about. Keep him on the phone.
He can come in and sit with us.
Y'all are the most handsome-looking people I've seen on TV right now.
That's right.
On screen, on my phone. But I want to let y'all know, the Dodgers are flying by. They're doing great right now. Who can compete with them?
Nobody.
Right now, I mean, every time I watch them start the game, and you've got Shohei, Mookie, Freddie. I mean, it's like death row. I mean, I'm a Braves fan, so, I mean, watching Freddie out there is a little bittersweet. But, I mean, when you see that 1, 2, 3, and that's not even talking about the other all-stars in your lineup. I mean, like Paul said, I mean, it's extremely hard for anybody to compete with the amount of money that the Dodgers owners have put into your team. So, I mean, you got to pay to play, and right now they're paying to play.
Yeah, fair enough. And my next question, I got one more question for y'all, if you don't mind.
Yeah, you're good.
All right. Does Nolan Ryan belong on the Mount Rushmore of pitchers?
Yes. Yes, absolutely, yes.
Absolutely.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I've
Those
been having this
strikeouts,
conversation
man.
with a few people lately, and the people I've talked to have said no, and they're sober, which is weird. But I'm like, I wanted to know from y'all's perspective and y'all's opinion, does Nolan Ryan belong on Mount Rushmore?
Yeah, let me tell you why. Let me give you a little bit of firepower for these guys. So, number one, the longevity of his career, number one. Number two, his velocity never wavered, even when the style of baseball changed and they had different types of pitchers coming through that were more throwing the junk than they were throwing the heat. And the thing is that his curveball was just as effective as his fastball. Now, the third thing about Nolan Ryan is that he never had Tommy John surgery. And so the thing is that he did all of that on his arm he left the last game that he was pitching on his own accord. He felt a little different in his arm, and he said, okay, my body's telling me I'm done. And he said, I never had to go through, he said, I had injuries, but I never had to do the Tommy John, and I never was that guy that, had to get that ligament replaced.
Okay, I'll go further with this.
I want to go as well, by the way.
Seven no-hitters, right? 7. Was it 313 strikeouts in a season? Something ridiculously stupid. I think it was 313.
You're right on the 7 no-hitters.
How many different teams did he play with? Maybe 7?
I think it was 4.
No. Mets, Rangers, Astros. Angels.
That was 4.
Oh, that's it?
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was even more than that. I mean, he was successful. And 2 teams got rid of him because they thought he was too old.
Yeah.
And he proved them all wrong.
Yep.
I got to see him in person. His son, Reed Ryan, was pitching for TCU, Horned Frogs, came to LSU, got beamed. Nolan Ryan sitting in the dugout. What happens after the LSU kills TCU? He comes out and signs autographs. Man is a stand-up guy. My brother saw him at the airport in Texas, in Houston, and he went right up to him and just talked to him like he's a regular human being. The guy was golden. And he beat up Roger Ventura.
No, Robin Ventura.
Yeah,
Robin
I
Ventura.
was going to say that. I swear I was going to say that.
You got a mean right hand.
I was going to say, he didn't have to be like that one quarterback that stabbed that old man. He can take on...
Mark Sanchez, wow.
Yeah. He ain't afraid.
So just to back up Paul's point, I mean, the longevity, just a quick look up on a couple things here. 27 seasons in the majors. I mean, that's absolutely unreal. Without surgery. I mean, what am I trying to say? The modern medicine today, I mean, he was an old school guy. I mean, he struck out hitters in 4 different decades. He led the league in strikeouts 11 times, including at the age of 43. He had led the league in strikeouts. So his final pitch as a pro clocked in at 98 miles an hour. So, I mean, it just unreal. I mean, this guy's a legend. So,
Nolan left the MLB at what age? He was in his 40s, right?
Yeah, 43, I do believe.
Man, that's incredible.
And he loves the game.
My question, guys.
Hey, you're very welcome, man.
Hey,
all right, we'll call you all next time.
Yes, sir.
Listen,
Appreciate you, Edward.
He loves the game. He started, he owned the Round Rock Express, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if he still owns that or it's even still in existence, but he loves the sport. He promotes the sport, too, and that's great.
Well, and the thing is that you got to look at all of the Hall of Famers that he faced and their batting averages against him as well.
Man.
So we probably will never see it again. His strikeout record probably will never be beat because of the different way that they do baseball now. So they don't finish games anymore. I'm sure there's a complete game number that he's got that probably is way higher than most.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of those things, and I love it because a lot of the younger guys is like, oh yeah, they do about they talk about it in basketball. It's like, oh, they played Larry Bird and all them played against a bunch of plumbers, and then you got to think, they say the same thing about baseball, and it's just not true. And it's like those guys, did it without the stuff that we have now, the training, the different supplements, all of that stuff. Just totally different.
Yeah, exactly.
But just talking, because we got to hurry to get through this. Thank you for the call, Edward. I appreciate that. But if you look at the Yankees winning last night 9-6 over the Blue Jays, Judge finally. So we got Kyle Riley finally. We got Judge finally. 3 for 4, 4 RBIs, 1 home run. And the thing is the one home run that he hit, Derek Jeter said it that there's probably not another human being that could hit the ball out of the ballpark where that ball was pitched. Okay, so it was 100 miles an hour on a foot and point. It was 1.4 feet outside of the strike zone. So that's the farthest ball that's been calculated that has been hit out of the ballpark for a pitch out of the strike zone since they've been doing the records or recording how far the strike zone is with the little block that they put out there now.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I mean, his strike zone isn't anybody's normal strike zone.
Right.
At 6'7" to reach another 12 inches outside the strike zone isn't much of a quote unquote stretch for Aaron Judge. Nonetheless, Derek Jeter's probably right. I mean, he's probably one of the only few people that could have reached that and has the power to take that ball and put it where it was.
So 1.4 feet is 17 inches.
Right. 17 inches on the inside part of the plate.
And this is 2 pages next to each other. So the top part of these 2 pages.
He's so literal.
16 inches. Just imagine it being
off the plate.
That plus an inch off the plate.
Off the plate. Inside, too.
Yeah,
normally
inside,
those guys
that's like.
Normally you're turning in, taking it on the elbow, but nope, he went ahead and hit it. And look, when he hit the ball, it was right here. And it was almost off his handle, and it hit the pole. I don't know if you saw it or not. It hit the pole.
Yeah.
And everybody,
God was like pushing it in.
So they were all. So God is for the Yankees. So everybody.
Well, the Angels are out.
So everybody was like, he stood there and watched it. He was turned, and then the pitcher. If you watch him, the pitcher turned and he looked, and he was like, oh, and then he went, gosh, he was mad, and then Aaron Judge started doing his deal. So, that was the momentum that took him. The question is going to be, will that momentum take them past tonight? Because it's going to be a tough road to hoe.
I've hit balls like inside, and you ever had it like vibrate and everything?
Yeah.
And oh, God, I hate that. Vibrate your arm.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we've got to go for this segment, but when we come back, we're going to be talking to Aaron Bearden. We got some questions for Instant Replay Sports. You're listening to the Sports Blitz here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Call or text him now on the Red 7T's studio line. 850-215-6290. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. The Coach James Hale Show.
Then do me a favor. There's a Chinaman running around. He goes by the name of Win One Soon. If you find him, catch him, hold him, call me, let me know, and I'll come pick him up, all right? I'm ready to listen to these experts make these picks. And listen, if I wasn't already bald, I would have pulled all my hair out.
Weekday mornings 7 to 9. At 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. The remainder of the day, partly cloudy and a temperature of 87 with wind 5 to 10 miles per hour out of the northeast. Partly cloudy skies tonight, a light breeze and warm near 73. Mostly sunny and 85 tomorrow. 81 and mostly sunshine with a moderate breeze Friday. This is your Wednesday's weather brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida, Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Your goals matter, and at Anytime Fitness Panama City, they're ready to help you crush them. With expert coaching, personal training, and virtual workouts through the Anytime Fitness app, you'll have all the support you need inside the club and beyond. Limited time only. Join today for just $1 down and start your fitness journey now. Don't wait. Visit 107 West 23rd Street, Suite W8, or call 850-818-8184. Anytime Fitness. Let's make healthy happen.
Want to do something meaningful without overhauling your schedule? Become a big brother or big sister. It's simple. Hang out, listen, be present. Right now, over 300 children in Northwest Florida are waiting for someone like you. Call 850-433-KIDS or visit BeTheBig.org to learn how you can help shape a child's future today.
The Kings of the Swamp.
Ball's loose at the 38. Gators got it. Wow.
Join Sean Kelly and the rest of the broadcast team as they bring you Gator football all season long.
Quick race down the near sideline. 20, 15, 10 to the 5. Touchdown, Gators.
On your home for Florida football, the Gator Sports Network from Learfield.
The Florida Gators play here. Listen to select games on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
You found us inside the CBC Construction Studios. Now taking your collection to the next level. It's the Instant Replay Sports Cards Box Break with Aaron Bearden on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Don't forget Thursday night football, Eagles versus Giants. Coverage starts at 6:30 on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. You can also call in, text in on the Red 7T's phone line, 850-215-6290. Always on Wednesday at around this time, we get the opportunity to talk to Aaron Bearden from Instant Replay Sports Cards. Aaron, how you doing, my friend?
Hey, fantastic. How about you?
Man, we're doing awesome. You told us last week that you were headed out of town, so how did all of that go? Tell us what went on when you were traveling, my friend.
Yeah, it's quite the trip. Yeah, we went down to a show called Scaradise down in Tampa, which is a pop culture show, like a card show, but entertainment stuff and all. Mostly horror themed, being that it's October. And a lot of actors and celebrities and things on hand, and a lot of really cool merchandise. People with comics and action figures and things like that. Great time. A lot of people from things like Scream and various horror movies, even like Jurassic Park and Yellow Jackets and Dexter and a lot of things like that. So yeah, tons of fun to be had.
Did you were you able to pick up some stuff, or you were selling stuff there?
No, I was really just there to get a lot of things signed, which I did, and met a lot of great people. Didn't pick up a whole lot as far as just general, merchandise, but it came away with a lot of signed pieces and a lot of multi-signed pieces, things that I've been working on for a while, getting people here and there from certain properties, certain franchises, and just adding to it.
Is it a secret, or are you going to tell us? Are you going to break the news to the fans?
No, we got five or six people from Yellow Jackets to sign some stuff, and I met a bunch of the cast of Dexter, which, hey, I've never ever in my life seen Dexter. I've heard it's fantastic. We got some Funko Pop signs, some posters, pictures, a lot of different items like that. And we did get some stuff certified. JSA was there. Got some JSA things certified, some autographs and all to bring back to the shop to sell. So, yeah, very good, fun, productive weekend. Still haven't recovered from it entirely, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, that's awesome. That sounds fun. Well, Jeff, he went to the Lone Star Boil House over the weekend on Saturday, and he signed some stuff. So maybe he can come over there and let you certify some of that stuff as well. But either way, I was looking at some of these cards that have, playoff implications. And I saw last night that Kyle Riley hit number 61. And, you know, I had saw early on in the week, and we had talked about it a little bit, that there was a card that, you know, 2021, it sold for $1,500. And then now it sold, like, last week for, like, I think it was $30,000.
Who was this?
And it was Kyle Riley's signed card. And I just wondered, do you have any of the big dumper stuff at your place over there?
I think we have some rookies on him. I don't know that we've got anything autographed right now. We've had some autos of him, but, you know, of course, he got really popular all season long. So there were people coming in looking to start their Kyle Riley collection. Man, it's a good return on investment. If you were somebody that had some faith in this guy, say, you know, 10 or 12 months ago, you could have really picked a lot of good cards up very, very cheap because people were just not thinking of him as the guy.
Yeah, no doubt. Now, let me ask you this. You got the we've talked about the Topps Chrome, and I know that I had heard that the Bowman Chrome was coming out as well.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have some of those over there at the shop?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we got Bowman Chrome. In fact, I think the Bowman Chrome Mega Boxes, I believe, came out this week. So we'll have all that stuff as well.
So what does that mean when you say Mega Box? Is that, how many packs is that in a box?
Well, it varies with all the boxes, whether it's hobby, mega, whatever. There's no one set amount. So your basic breakdown is this. And again, take it with a grain of salt. There's always little variations. Your hobby box being the full standard box, however many packs, that's the one that's going to have like your guaranteed hits in it. Your retail box, your blaster box, like you find at Walmart and Target, not usually going to have your guaranteed hits. Probably going to be fewer packs than a hobby box, but again, that stuff can change. Mega box is going to be kind of like halfway between. Maybe it leans a little more toward the retail side. Sometimes a mega box will guarantee you a hit. Sometimes they'll say, you know, this will have one auto or one relic in the box. You're going to pay more, you know, maybe 2 to 3 times the price of a blaster box a lot of times for a mega box. But you'll usually get some kind of exclusive inserts, some different, you know, maybe your standard cards, they say, look for the green border, the blue border, the red border, whatever. Maybe the mega box has like the gold bordered ones or something like that in it. So it's a little better, you know, a little bigger investment than a value box, a blaster box, but not as expensive as a full hobby box.
Hey, Aaron, it's Tennessee Brain over here. How you doing, man?
What's up, man? How's it going?
What's up, man? Hey, man, I just want to thank you and Miss Jean every time that I come into your shop, man. Y'all are so nice. You're very informative. Y'all take the time. Y'all, you know, I could be in there looking at 100 things, and y'all are just super nice, man. I just want to say thank you for welcoming me when I come in there, and you know, I appreciate that. Very welcoming, warm business, man.
Oh, man, well, I'm glad to hear it. Yeah,
thanks, man.
We like people to enjoy coming here.
Oh, 100%, man. And every time I ask about an event or a question or, you know, PSA versus CGC or something like that, man, you're full-fledged in information. So anybody out there listen, if you have any card questions, you want to get some information, definitely go down to Instant Replays. See Aaron, and man, he'd be more than willing to answer some of your questions. Very, very informative. But Aaron, I've got a couple of questions, just generic card collecting questions. Just, you know, I feel like the card trading industry is starting to get a little hotter and hotter over the last little bit. I wanted to know, are you seeing more people collecting for like fun, profit, and or nostalgia? And what percentage of your customers are like, you know, investors versus collectors versus, you know, maybe just kids coming in and just, you know, buying cards?
Sure. Well, on the first one, as far as, you know, seeing it getting hotter, you know, if I'm being honest, yes, it is hot right now. However, prices are down from what they were maybe 3-4 years ago, like during and at the tail end of the pandemic. There were things selling for just crazy amounts. There was really anything, if it was 2.5 inches, about 3.5 inches, and had a picture of an athlete on it, It was printed on paper. You could sell it. Didn't matter what it was. That craze has died down a little bit, and now it's more about there are certain things that are still hot, and some things are really coming back down to earth.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's kind of a mixed bag. Yes, there are some things that are, going up, and some things are kind of coming to, back to where they were, say, in 2018, 2019.
Okay.
As far as percentage of collectors and, who's collecting for this and that, without doing like a real formal survey, sometimes it's hard to tell. Sometimes it's hard to say. Sometimes they're buying stuff and putting it back with a sort of an investor mindset without that quick turn, make a fast buck kind of mindset. And sometimes those people look very much like your average collectors who are doing it for fun. I think probably the road to go is a little bit of both when it comes to that. Buy some things that you enjoy. You got a team you like, collect those people, and once in a while pick up something that, you think, hey, I'm going to get this now, like, say, Cal Raleigh. You're maybe not a Mariners fan, but you're going, look, man, this guy's pretty cheap. Maybe this is just the first year that he hit 60 home runs. Maybe he does it 3 or 4 more times. So, I think there's some people doing both of that. As far as what percentage are kids, not enough.
Not enough.
And I would love to say that to, somebody from Topps, Panini, whatever. Kids are getting priced out of this because of, they're not making enough stuff, so there's that lure for, adults to run to these stores and buy up all of something and hoard it or flip it or whatever. Kids just can't get into the hobby. And when a kid can't go with his mom to, Target or whatever and get a pack of cards because, somebody else has bought it up and all that, that's kind of a hindrance. That's a wall stopping that kid from having a love for the hobby and wanting to continue. And, there's probably a lot of kids out there that think, man, I'd like to get into collecting baseball, football, Pokemon, whatever, but I can never get the cards, so I just got into something else instead.
Yeah, I can definitely see that, especially with Topps kind of marketing, obviously the Disney, and me and you talked last time. They're already in the market for coming out with new Disney Chrome lines, things like that. The Topps Chrome SpongeBob come out. So, like, the types of non-sports cards that they are making are targeting towards, I would say, more towards children. However, those price points and the availabilities of those does make it hard for children to get started. And when you don't get children started, sometimes they don't get invested or grow up with a love of cards. So, it makes it really hard for that hobby to continue. And most of that time you get kind of picked up on it as a kid, and you carry it throughout your lifetime. So I understand why it's super important to get children involved in that now. That way they can kind of carry it and for the love of it. And when they get older, it becomes, more of a nostalgia thing than it does a hobby thing.
Yeah. We'd hate to see 30 years down the road that, there's not a, say, people who are adults right now who are collecting, they collected when they were kids, they can now share it with their kids. These kids who right now can't get into it, can't afford to get into it, can't find it, 30 years from now they got kids of their own, that's not what they're going to be sharing with them. At some point, all the existing collectors are gone, and there's like no generation to pick up and carry the torch.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. Like the other day we were talking about it, and somebody had said that, the moms and the dads are, and every kid can't do this, but now the moms and dads are having to pay the huge amounts of money because the kids are watching all these videos on YouTube where, they're pulling all these cards out of the boxes because you have to spend money to make money. And it's getting them to that part of life to where, kids are asking mom and dad, hey, I don't want a pack of cards. I want to see what's going to make money because I've watched these guys on YouTube open up these cards, and it's the big time, I hit $100,000 card, a $10,000 card, a $5,000 card. But then you go in to buy them, and it's like, oh, that box costs $2,000.
Right. Yeah. And that's unfortunate that a lot of kids get influenced by that. It's just a natural thing. Kids, they see adults doing the thing, they want to do the thing. And, not realizing that there is a barrier between that. And when they can go find a pack of cards somewhere within, their budget, it's like you're not going to hit those kinds of cards from it. A lot of times you see these stories where, some kid, they're like, oh, this $25,000 card got pulled, and it was by this 12-year-old. And you start reading about it, and a lot of times to me it's kind of disheartening when they're like, oh, yeah, and his dad, constantly buys him these $1,000 boxes and this, that, and the other. And they're like, oh, this isn't even the best card this kid's ever pulled.
Yeah.
Well, good for him, but also a lot of the kids hearing about that don't get the disconnect there, that it's like, yeah, you can't afford the $2,000 box. Your parents aren't buying that for you. But you want that just like the other kids you see or the adults you see.
Yeah, and that's the key, because my kid, we went and bought some cards before, and, they were like, he was asking me, he was like, well, how is this one rare? How much does this one cost? Is this one rare? Is this one rare? And I'm just like, buddy, it's about the card, and it's about liking it and all of that. But it's for them, it's a different generation now. They're watching these videos, and that's what they're looking for. They're looking for the spin low, make high of actually out of reality, like you said, because there's a backstory to it. And the backstory is Dad's the CEO for the airport over there, and, he's buying $1,000 a pop every time he goes into the store.
Sure, yeah, and they're boy, we could do a whole thing of this is the 24-hour, the social media, the phone's in their pockets, and they're seeing all these other kids with YouTube, well, that kid's got 1 million followers on TikTok, I want to do what they do, that sort of thing. It's a whole other, unfortunately, they're getting influenced by a lot of things like that maybe the reality of it isn't quite as clear to them. But, yeah, it's hard to see sometimes the kids that really want to collect, and that's just not happening. Because, like I say, their moms or whatever can't go to Target or Walmart and get them a pack of good cards for $3 or $4 because some guy ran in there and bought them all up, and he's going to flip them online, in lieu of himself having a job.
Yeah. Well, we got a couple of minutes left, Aaron. Tell us what's going on with the shop this week and what you got going on.
All right. Yeah, so this week, let's see, we've got Kids Club on Friday night. Bring those kids out. They have a ton of fun. We do box breaks and all kind of cool, fun stuff with the kids. They learn a lot about cards. That's at 6 o'clock. Saturday, we got breaks in the store, hobby boxes. Adults, kids are welcome too. It was great, a lot of fun there. We've got a kids play and trade Pokemon night this Saturday night, the 11th. Bring those kids in. I think it's at 5 o'clock. It's all on our Facebook page. Definitely check all that stuff out. I think next week we got a meet and greet right here in the shop with some professional wrestlers as well. So we can talk about that next week. That'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. Maybe we can send Jeff over there and let him arm wrestle a couple of them.
Yeah, they're in trouble now.
But either way, Aaron, we appreciate you, man. We hope everything works out good. And tell us where you are real quick so that people can know where you are.
Yep. 752 West 23rd Street. That's the Stanford Station Plaza. If you don't know Stanford Station, that's Academy Sports. That's Sweet Frog, El Jalisco, and Chick-fil-A are out in front in the parking lot. You guys know where that stuff is. We're right there 7 days a week. InstantReplaySportcards.com. Come see us.
Awesome. Aaron, we appreciate you, man. Aaron Bearden from Instant Replay Sports. And when we come back, we are going to dive into this SEC football. We got Brandon in the house. He's going to let us know what's going on with them Volunteers. You're listening to the Sports Blitz at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Call in now.
This is Touchstone service.
The Red 70s studio line is open.
Demonstrate how to make a call with your dial telephone.
850-215-6290. Have you ever wanted to reach out and smack someone?
You can't fix stupid, but you can divorce it.
The new Sports Blitz. Rants, hot takes, and huge reactions are incoming.
And on behalf of 70% of the Alabama fan base,
feel the burn.
We want a damn divorce.
The Red 70s studio line.
You cannot give LSU extra opportunities.
850-215-6290. ESPN Northwest Florida.
He has not turned the ball over.
Get in the game.
Take your next adventure in an award-winning Kia from Bill Bird Kia. Discover the new Kia. We invite you to stop by Bill Bird Kia and test drive the new 2025 Kia. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. The 2025 Kia SUV family has movement that inspires. Drive away today in a new 2025 Kia Soul, Seltos, Sportage, Sorento, or Telluride. Fuel the thrill and command the road in the luxury of a 2025 Kia K5 sedan from Bill Bird Kia. Performance, power, and design built for you. Spark inspiration in the all-electric 2025 EV9. It's a modern masterpiece, fast charging, rugged, and roomy. Bill Bird Kia is the original home for the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by 2435 East 15th Street, Panama City, or anytime at BillBirdKia.PanamaCity.com. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind you can trust. Your local community dealer is Bill Bird Kia.
Scott Graham here from Thursday Night Football on Westwood One. Jason Benetti and Devin McCourty have the call as Week 6 of the season kicks off with NFC East action between the Eagles and the Giants. Philadelphia, the defending Super Bowl champions, are coming off their first loss of the season last week. Can they get their repeat hopes back on track? Find out on Thursday Night Football.
Eagles versus Giants. Coverage starts at 6:30 on 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Now, we're live and local inside the CBC Construction Studios.
This is Coach Stephen Pearl. Your home for Auburn basketball on the Panhandle is 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the most opinionated sports talk show on the Panhandle. This is the Sports Blitz on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Don't forget, you can call in. You can text in on the Red 70s phone line, 850-215-6290. Also, don't forget, you can watch us on Facebook. You can see what kind of shirts Jeff has on, Brandon has on, and me as well. But either way, we're pumped up. We're excited. As always, on Wednesday, we talk about something that, we got to talk about it just because they're in the SEC. But either way, we got to talk about the Orange Tennessee Volunteers. Brandon?
Yes, sir.
How was the bye week? Now, we heard on, was it great?
Oh, man, just to sit back and watch this week as the chaos unfolded in college football. It was a great week to have a bye week. Let's just say that.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of upsets and a lot of things that happened and things that we called and things that we didn't call.
Yep.
And so,
agreed.
But being able to sit back and watch it. But during the bye week, now it was rumored that the All-American McCoy, defensive back, was coming back, that he was going to be ready to go. And, is that true? Is he coming back or not?
So, unfortunately, as a Volunteers fan, we were all very optimistic and thought we had heard an official report last week that, hey, McCoy's coming back. He's scheduled to come back for the Arkansas game during the bye week. They're going to start to get him ready. They're going to ramp him up, increase reps. That ended up being a false narrative.
What?
Yeah. So Hype will come on one of his team meetings on Monday or Tuesday and went ahead and let us know that, hey, he's seen the report. He acknowledged it was false. He said it's extremely unfair to Jermod for that to be his timeline. He says he's extremely close, but he's still got some work to do. So, everybody's hoping that he makes it back for the Alabama game.
Jermod, don't do it. Just stay out.
So, so he won't be playing. So we are in the same boat we've been the last few weeks at DB. We have the emergence of Colton Hood, who has stepped up. And we have another young sophomore who is really, really stepping up himself. So we got some guys who are getting some valuable reps in right now. So we are extremely excited for McCoy to come back, but he will not be back this weekend.
So before the bye week, obviously we talked about the Tennessee-Mississippi State game.
Yeah.
Let's look back a little bit into that because that game was close. It was at Stark Vegas. I get it. But it was really close, and that was one of the picks that I had coming into the week because of how close they played
Tennessee. And that was one of the big reasons why I picked Mississippi State to beat Texas A&M over on Kyle Field. And obviously they did not do it.
Not, no.
So let me ask you this. As a Tennessee fan, seeing that throttle, seeing that, I mean, it was a dominant performance by A&M. They destroyed Mississippi State. They put Mississippi State back a few, levels to me, because I was thinking, man, so you had Georgia and Tennessee go into overtime at Neyland Stadium.
Yep, Neyland Stadium. But,
I'd like to do that.
I know.
And then you got Georgia losing to Alabama.
Yep.
And then Mississippi State, runs Tennessee to the wire. And then A&M destroys Mississippi State. So how, as a fan of Tennessee, now I know it's a round robin thing and the SEC is the SEC, but how does that make you feel? Are you a little bit concerned going forward right now? You got the one loss. Obviously, you really don't want to get
we don't need another one. I know we have what they call quote unquote trap game this weekend versus Arkansas. I mean, we all seen what UCLA did with their interim head coach this weekend against Penn State.
True.
Players love to rally behind their new head coaches. They think they have something to prove. They want to say, hey, it ain't us. There's a whole thing. So yeah, that whole thing with Arkansas, if it wasn't at home, I would be a little more worried than I am, but it is a home game, so I'm not as worried as I would be if we were traveling back to Arkansas.
So you got any players that are nicked up right now because it's the SEC? You're gonna have
always going to have injuries and things of that. So obviously we talked about McCoy not making it back. However, Jackson Moy, who plays the defensive lineman, was limited during the Mississippi State game. He was actually making his way back. He was on what they call a pitch count, whatever, certain plays during the bye week, and he's supposed to be full-fledged. He's an interior D lineman that we are looking forward to having back. So obviously Arkansas's got a pretty stout run game. So it's going to be nice to have him back. Also, Devon Hobbs, he's a 5-star D lineman who hasn't played it down this year. He hurt his foot preseason, trying to get ready for the season, and he hasn't made a start. He's allegedly supposed to be making his debut on D-line this weekend. So getting two studs back on the defensive linemen who really haven't been there all year.
Yeah.
So that's really where we need a lot of our help. Where we've been struggling a little more is in the interior.
Yeah,
we're getting some of that depth back this Saturday, and I think that's a really good thing for us.
So, Jeff, do you think Tennessee at this point in the season, would you call them a contender or a pretender right now as they sit? Not anything past what they've already showed you. I'm not talking. We're not going forward. I know how you like to go forward into the next thing. Don't do that. Stay right here with me.
Yeah, I got you.
What do you think?
I think a contender.
You do?
Yeah.
Do you think it's because of the way they played against Georgia and the way they just handled their business with the other harder games?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because when you look at contenders, you're not always going to have your greatest games when you're playing away from home. And then when you do...
Well, the Georgia game was at home.
Yes. Yeah, that one. I'm talking about the Mississippi State game because that was close. I mean, it was close.
Yeah.
And they found a way to win. Is that kind of what you base it off of, or are you just saying Georgia only?
Well, let me misspell a mistruth I just heard you say. And it was about 3 minutes ago. Talking about Texas A&M throttling Mississippi State.
Yeah.
Didn't happen. You're looking at the score. It was 7-3 at halftime. Mississippi State was completely in that the whole first half. They were led almost the entire first half, 3-0. And then, what Texas A&M do in the third quarter? Tell me. One score.
They scored
14-3.
They're 14-3.
So Texas A&M scored majority of their points in the fourth quarter to get it out of the way.
Right.
This was a game that was within reach. Mississippi State was not throttled or destroyed by Texas A&M.
Okay, but how many points did they score?
They ended up scoring 31.
No, how many points did Mississippi State score? Okay.
9 total.
So they scored 9 points.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is 9 points?
I mean, it's
3 field goals.
I think Was it?
Three
it was
field
3 field
goals.
goals.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't have
Yeah.
missed the extra point. Yeah.
Yeah, so
3 field goals. Yeah. So
All
they
right.
couldn't punch it in.
So they
end.
whoa.
Oh, hold on. No,
No.
there was a receiving touchdown. They did miss an
They
extra
missed the extra point.
So-
Yeah.
Okay, so
they did get an end zone.
One touchdown.
Yeah, and 1 field goal.
And 1 field goal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
it took Texas A&M 3 full quarters to score 2 touchdowns
at home.
This game was within reach.
If they can't,
at College Station,
but they can't score.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's Mississippi State.
How many
for
points?
Most of their existence in the whole life.
Understand.
I mean, Prescott.
How
is
many?
The only difference.
How many points did they score against Tennessee?
34.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, a team that scored 34 points
at home
and a team that scored 9.
Yeah.
We're
It's
talking
a big difference.
It's a huge difference.
It's a huge difference, yeah.
And when you look at whether or not you score points in the first quarter, the second quarter, third quarter, because last year, the Alabama-Georgia game, Alabama throttled Georgia in the
For 3
first
quarters.
half
Yeah.
into the third quarter.
Yeah.
And then Georgia shortened the gap, closed the gap,
Yeah.
and then almost won.
Surprisingly, I was
Yeah.
shocked.
Right.
by it
Almost took
happening.
over.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, they had 1 lead.
But if it would have been differently, if it would have happened differently, and it would have been Alabama just was a little bit scoring, not a lot, and then fourth quarter they boomed it and took off, it would be like they took off and they won the game because they took over. Texas A&M, whether they scored in the first quarter of the first
it doesn't
minute
make a difference.
or the last quarter,
No.
they throttled them 31-9.
It does make a difference. And
If it would
and
have
I'm
been
going to bring an example that
31-21,
Clemson was
okay.
up 10-0 or 10-7 on LSU at halftime. You know, were they in that game? Heck yeah, they're in that game. And when LSU scored 10 in the second half, it wasn't a throttling. You know, I mean, Clemson didn't score the whole entire second half.
I think that's domination when you don't allow the other team to score in the second half. That's domination.
Mississippi State is not that bad. Are they the 10th best team in the SEC?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think they're probably number 10.
Yeah,
because I can name 8 off the top of my head that are definitely top 8.
But that's
and then
what
the
I was,
ninth one, you got your Auburns and all that.
But that's what I was asking him. 34 points compared to 9.
Yeah.
Whether it's at home or away, they still didn't get in the end zone like they did easily with Tennessee. Whether you say, I mean, Stark Vegas, they don't give them 80 yards and say, okay, because you're at home, you get 80 yards instead of 100. It's still a 100-yard field.
They just got a bunch of cowbells ringing.
Right.
Yeah, but I think that makes a huge difference. And here in the SEC, when you travel on the road, I think it's hard to score. I think that, you know, it is hard to put up points when, you know, it takes really good teams to figure out how to win when you go on the road and you're not in your home stadium and you're a little more uncomfortable.
I agree with that.
With a lot more noise, not in your locker. I mean, I really, really think I'm sitting here looking at a couple of scores, and it seems like the home team is always a little more comfortable than the ones that are scoring. I think Mississippi State, I think, is a good team.
Beating Arizona State by 4 at home. Holding them to 20 points, Arizona State.
Get out of here with the Miss Arizona
State. And Arizona
State.
State turns around and beats TCU and BYU. Those are contenders in the Big 12.
Yeah, Big 12.
And they're the only Big 12 team to make the playoffs last year too.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I mean, I think the Big 12 champion would be a mid-tier SEC team. So I don't know how much weight that specifically holds.
Yeah,
I mean,
right. I'm getting tired of hearing Jeff every week talk about Arizona State being like they're some kind of contender. They're not good. I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah.
Mississippi State beat them, and probably everybody but Kentucky and maybe South Carolina can beat Arizona State in the SEC.
Maybe Arkansas, it depends.
I think Arkansas can get them.
Yeah.
Probably. But anyway, so what I was trying to do before Jeff interrupted.
You asked me a question.
But I asked him the question. Either way, when you look at it, it does kind of, concern you a little bit because it's the defense. That's the part. Yeah. It's not that you guys can't score. It's not that Joey Aguilar isn't adjusted to Josh Heupel's way of moving the football or scoring points, because you guys are doing that and you're doing it in bunches. Yeah. And that's what it's about. but you don't want to have to outscore everybody you play, because that's what happened with Georgia. You ran into not being able to score with them
there was
on certain times.
Period of time where we did struggle. We started to pick it back up, but that lull is what kind of...
That's what happened. Yes. Yeah, so that's the key, and that's why I was going there with the point that Texas A&M not giving up that many points to a Mississippi State team, although it was at Kyle Field. Yeah. When you look at it, if Tennessee can get to the place to where they can stop people, stop the run, keep them behind the sticks instead of giving them 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1, that 2nd and 4, 2nd and 3, that's where they're going to have to be more efficient with their defense, and having those guys back, that's going to be the big kicker.
Having those guys on the interior where we have been struggling a little bit. I mean, Mississippi State had like about $140 on us with 2 rushing touchdowns, and then when they played Texas A&M, they had 77. So obviously, it kind of seems like Texas A&M stopped what Mississippi State was good at. We allowed Mississippi State to stay in the game because we allowed them to do what they were good at.
And that's Fluff Bothwell. He's the running back, one from South Alabama.
They kept on saying his name during the game.
But either way, when we come back, we're going to discuss that game and more. And we also have Coach Tommy Joe Whidden from Mosley High School coming on. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Taking your hot takes, rants, and takedowns. Let's hear it on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. Keep the game going with ESPN Northwest Florida. Just because you get out of the car doesn't mean the Sports Talk and Live play-by-play have to end. Just say, hey, Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida. From Michigan Avenue to the man cave, from the car to the kitchen, we've got you covered. Keep the game going. Hey, Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. The remainder of the day, partly cloudy and a temperature of 87 with wind 5 to 10 miles per hour out of the northeast. Partly cloudy skies tonight, a light breeze and warm near 73. Mostly sunny and 85 tomorrow. 81 and mostly sunshine with a moderate breeze Friday. This is your Wednesday's weather brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida, Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Are you looking for a place to take a leak? Do you have a truck, tractor, or other hydraulic equipment leaking or not performing as it should? At Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, we can get you back to work. Do you have a busted or leaking hose? Hydraulic cylinder or pump needing repair? If competitive pricing and a quick turnaround are what matter to your business, come see us at Reliable Hydraulic Solutions. Or you can give us a call at 850-326-3000. Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, 6840 Highway 77 in Southport. The best place in town to take a leak.
PLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Reliable Coffee Products is proud to be the exclusive dealer in Northwest Florida for Kyocera office equipment. Reliable Coffee Products has been committed to providing professional, personalized service for the last 35 years. They understand that the right equipment does not always fall within today's budget requirements, so they offer several options for the equipment you need today for the growth you expect tomorrow. Call James Smothers at 784-6601. 784-6601. Reliable Coffee Products on Harrison Avenue, just north of Bay High School.
Broadcasting from the CBC Construction Studios. They're number one in the men's room.
I hope this place comes with toilet paper.
The Sports Blitz.
Oh, geez, this is going to be a photo finish.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
What time it is? It's 5 o'clock on this Wednesday. You made it through Hump Day. And we're excited We're almost close to the weekend, baby. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. We're so excited. We got Brandon in the building wearing his puke orange, and we've got Jeffrey wearing his Saints gold, and Bone Crusher wearing the purple for the Grapico. We're pumped up and ready to talk some sports. Don't forget, Thursday night football, Eagles versus Giants. Coverage starts at 6:30, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. You can listen to it right here. Also, don't forget, if Jeff says something that irritates you, you can call in on the Red 70s phone line, 850-215-6290. You know what? With the Saints shirt on, we're excited for you, man, because this is about the only day you're going to get to wear it, because next week it's going to start right back over. We might better get the trash bags ready.
Yeah.
Well, the paper bags.
Paper bags, yeah.
Yeah.
They plan stuff in Louisiana to do the paper bags.
Yeah, they're coming. Yeah.
Yeah, they're coming. Ain't a Halloween outfit.
No. Nope.
Should be.
Who dat?
By the way, I went to a game that was on Halloween night at the Superdome, and the Saints are playing, and I saw one of the best Halloween outfits. And this is, I don't know, this is what, 2021 or 22? And this guy looked like Lane Kiffin.
Wow.
And he wore the whole outfit with the visor, and it was spitting image. And you know what his girlfriend was?
What?
Popcorn. Because remember, get your popcorn ready? It was that year.
Yeah, that was great.
And that was a great outfit.
So we're going to do that. I don't know if you guys want to, how you want to work that out, but maybe you can switch your day.
Okay.
And maybe you can come in on Halloween and we'll all dress up and we'll make sure that it's going to be really good. So either way, we got a couple of weeks.
That's a Friday.
Yeah.
Should be a Friday, yeah.
Did you really just sit here and
I was
do this?
counting. I was like, okay, it's a Friday.
Guys, listen, how we have to deal with Jeff, he's so literal. So if there's anything that I make a mistake on, maybe if I'm one number off, he's going to tell me, because he'll get his fingers going and he's thinking, he starts looking up. And sometimes when we first started the show, I would look at him and he'd have this look on his face and I'm thinking, should I ask him what he's thinking or should I just wait? Because, there's all kinds of stuff going on. There's moving parts happening all across the board there. So either way, yes, that's going to be awesome.
And you know what? There was a talk yesterday that, it just got me really good. It was Neil, and when he said it, he what is it? He lives rent free in my head.
Yes,
I was like, maybe I should start charging Neil rent.
We haven't said anything negative about Florida State
yet. No, not
yet. We might get to that here soon. But anyway, let's talk about this Tennessee-Arkansas game. Now, obviously, you kind of made mention of it earlier, and I really want to dive into that. It's a scary thing to play a team that just lost their head coach and allowed the interim coach to come in, because, yes, you've got film on Bobby Petrino. Yes, you know what Bobby Petrino's offenses like to do. However, it is a very scary thing. We look at Newheisel at UCLA beating Penn State this past weekend, which is crazy. But when you look at Petrino, he's done it before. There's a lot of things that he's done before, and he's been very successful. And just like we talked about, there's a possibility that they've already given him the farm, because they're allowing him to add pieces and take away pieces out of the coaching staff. So are you concerned about that part of this game coming into this weekend?
Yeah, definitely. Having the interim head coach, and not just any interim head coach. I mean, this is a coach who has proven himself in the past.
Winner.
Yeah, 100%. And he wants to be the head coach, not just the interim. I think he wants to get back there.
Yeah.
So to do that, what do you got to do?
You got to win.
You got to win a couple games, and got to win a couple games you're not supposed to win.
Yes.
So yes, I am a little worried. When you're 2-3, you're the interim head coach, and you really got nothing to lose. Watch out for the fake punts. Watch out for the onside. Watch out for the trick plays. I mean, when you've got nothing to lose, and you go to play a team you're not necessarily supposed to beat, that's when you have to start looking out for those kinds of things.
And don't think for a moment that Arkansas don't have talent.
No,
Arkansas's got talent.
For sure.
They do. I mean, they're not going to be, they're not going to wow you with a bunch of 5-stars, but they got some 3 stars, 4 stars, and they might have a 5-star on there. They definitely got transfer portal people there. Yeah. We know that has changed the landscape of college football. But really, when you look at him, that's the kicker. He's done this before. He knows what he's doing. He definitely knows what Heupel is doing, because to offensive coaches knowing each other's style of play is a really big advantage whenever you're playing someone, when you understand what they're trying to do. And, you know, he won with Ryan Mallett. He won with those type of guys. He won at Louisville. He's won everywhere he's won. He just had those off-the-field problems with motorcycles. But either way, when you look at him, he does know how to call a game, and his play calling is really good. And that was one of the things whenever I saw at the beginning of the year, I knew Sam Pittman was going to have trouble, and I knew that he was going to have a hard time with having such a high-caliber offensive coordinator in the building. And if he didn't win, they were going to make the switch. Just like I think if Norvell and them get going that way, you're going to see the same thing happen. Gus is going to take right over that ship, and you'll see Gus being the head coach next year. So either way, when you look at this Arkansas-Tennessee, what do you think Tennessee has to do coming into this game?
Man, so I do think I read the other week, a couple weeks ago, I did read some, defensive statistics and things like that. But we, as good as we look on paper, we've got to be able to, keep the team out of the end zone. We've got to be able to figure out how to come up with a couple of stops to eliminate the mental errors. And we got to figure out how not to find that lull in offense. And then when we are in that lull in offense, we can't be giving up points. So that's the fine balance, and that's the fine balance for every team, balancing your offense versus your defense. But ours gets to be a little here sometimes and a little here, and just to be able to close in the floor and the ceiling a little bit, I think it would be somewhere that we could drastically improve. Now, the interior defensive linemen coming in, I do think that's going to help a lot with our run game. Like I said, we got some young cornerbacks, so they're going to be thrown to the wolves. They're going to have to sink or swim. We're going to have to rely on them to do some things. But if we're getting some pressure, we might be able to get some coverage sacks, things like that, if we're able to get some pressure onto the quarterback, which is going to be hard on Taylor Green.
Yeah, well, that's the other question, Jeff. When you look at Taylor Green, you look at a guy that's played a lot of football.
Yeah.
And
puts up numbers.
And he puts up numbers. He's very athletic.
Yeah.
And don't forget, this is the same Arkansas team that scored 35 points against Ole Miss.
Yeah.
So when you look at Arkansas to me is a little bit like Tennessee. It's like a match made in heaven. It's the more of a high, we're going to try to outscore you because we really can't stop you either, because Arkansas's defense is not that good either.
But Tennessee has a confidence from the last couple of years. Oklahoma does not.
Well, Arkansas.
Oh, no, I meant Oklahoma, as opposed to, like, we're comparing Tennessee to Oklahoma, right?
No.
Well, you said Arkansas played Oklahoma and they scored 35 points.
No, I said they scored Ole Miss.
It was Ole Miss. I was thinking it was Oklahoma. Okay, well, Ole Miss has had some success, so I guess it is kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Now, Ole Miss was up by 14 half the game, It wasn't like a tit-for-tat type thing. They weren't tied for very long. Let's just put it like that. So Arkansas is going to have to jump on them early.
It's going to be.
This game is in Tennessee.
It is in Tennessee.
So again,
I believe there's going to be some.
And what did Arkansas do last year after they upset Tennessee? They did nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, and that's the kicker. They beat them last year.
Almost knocked us
so
out
it's
of the
at Arkansas.
Yeah, at Arkansas.
Yeah.
So you almost always go with the home team when they beat the team the year before.
And that's what I feel a little confident with, is like I feel like last year we looked past the Arkansas game to the point where it bit us in the butt, and they almost knocked us out of the playoffs, and we were almost ruined.
I'm not saying y'all got lucky beating Bama, but it happening in that year, it got you in the playoffs.
No, 100%. I mean, anytime you can beat a good quality team, it definitely helps.
No, just say Bama. Anytime you beat Bama, you get relevance.
Well, Vandy got it last year.
Yeah.
And so did Oklahoma. No, they didn't. They weren't a top 20 team, Oklahoma or Vandy last year. Bama was one of the most inconsistent teams last year.
Correct.
I mean, beating Georgia, and
LSU.
and beating destroyed LSU, and then losing to Vandy and Oklahoma. And the way they lost to Oklahoma,
that was terrible.
You want to forget that year.
Oh, yeah, I do.
And y'all were the 13th team.
Yeah, we were out because of that.
After all of that, you were still the 13th team because there's so many upsets.
Well, let me read this because we can't not talk about this part because somebody is feeling a little bit better. So Norvell Central, which is Taylor Devers, made a little comment on our Facebook page. Paul hates on the straw hat for Gus and then suggests he could be the head football coach in waiting. What a time to be alive. You know what? I agree with you, Taylor. It is a great time to be alive, but I also really believe it. If Norvell does not get this ship turned, that seat is going to get hot. And who will they look to? Old Gus. But anyway.
And it's not going to come down to the Gators game at the end of the year for the Seminoles. It's the conference games.
No, you got to win now because the ACC is better this year. I've been saying this from the beginning of the season.
Got a potential teams.
They're top loaded. I mean, who are your? I mean, what do you?
Who are your mids?
Yeah,
Virginia, NC State,
Louisville,
maybe Pitt.
I don't think
right at average, maybe.
Right of average in that conference is the bottom of what our conference is. So I don't think that they're as strong as they've been in the last couple of years. They're top heavy.
They have to be. With Miami being the top ranked team in that conference, people had said that there's a possibility that Miami could be the number one team in the country. And so you hadn't heard that in a long time.
So they are the only team in the top 13 other than Georgia Tech right now?
Georgia Tech, yeah.
Okay.
Well, you got an undefeated Georgia Tech. You got an undefeated Miami that both of those teams have beat good teams. Notre Dame, and then you look from last year how they played against Georgia. That's what everybody's giving Georgia Tech their flowers.
Yeah, I'm not buying it. ACC is weak. They've got Virginia at 19, and they've got Florida State at 25. I mean, they are top loaded. Their Miami is what's holding the conference above water right now.
You want me to break Taylor Devers' positivity here?
Go ahead.
So Florida State.
Hold on, wait, time out. Taylor, I told you Jeff was on you this week. You missed a good time to be here. He was sick. But, man, go ahead.
So Florida State, when they joined the ACC, they're 101-9 in their first 110 games after joining the ACC. So they pretty much ran the show, right? Miami didn't do that, by the way. And in the last 10 games...
Conte calling.
Yeah, really. So
get the whole ACC riled up.
Florida State in the last 10 games is 1-9. That means they went 0-8 last year. No, I'm sorry, 1-7 last year and 0-2 this year in conference play. These Florida State guys who say that they run the ACC, guess how many ACC titles they have in the last 10 years?
1.
The same as LSU has won the SEC. 1.
Yep.
LSU's won the SEC once in the last 10 years. Florida State has won 1 in the last 10 years. And the SEC is a better conference than the ACC.
Yeah. And so
does LSU run the SEC?
No.
Heard ya.
Right.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You don't run the ACC any longer. And then Miami beating them this past week? That's just another testament to the fact that you do not run the ACC any longer.
Well, you got to look at it. I mean, obviously, we know who ran the ACC for the last 10 years. It's been Clemson. And there's been nobody else.
They've fallen off the wagon.
And they've fallen off, so now it's time for somebody else, and Miami's taking the mantle. And that's where it was in Florida State with them upsetting Alabama early and looking good, and then just having these 2 last game mishaps.
Yeah,
that's
the problem. Are you saying if Alabama beats FSU first game of the year, are you still saying the ACC is as strong as it is now?
No.
Okay. I mean, I think that would exactly. So I think that is an anomaly that is portraying the ACC to be stronger than it is. But I think Alabama dropped that game. They didn't show up, and it didn't really prove that Florida State's any better and projecting the ACC to be
You
strong.
have to go by body of work. And when they beat a team that everybody thought was in the top 5 of the SEC, then you have to give them credibility.
Yeah, at the
time. And then you had Miami in that same week beating Notre Dame at Notre Dame. You give them credibility. And then you start thinking about Georgia Tech, how they played with Georgia with just about the same team, and then they're undefeated. Now you got credibility. And then you see Louisville going undefeated. Then you see Virginia, and then you're like, wait a minute. The ACC, it doesn't look too bad. And then you watch North Carolina State, and you're like, well, they don't look too bad. They could be, a whatever. Now, this year's SEC is probably the best it's ever been as well, because you got Vanderbilt and Missouri that they could beat anybody in the whole SEC on any given day. with the way that they've been playing. So that's what I'm saying, that, and I attribute it to the NIL. And that's what Florida State done. Florida State's whole team, outside of a couple of 5-stars, are all transfers. And that's what they banked their season on. And just so happens they had a trip up with Virginia and then ran into the buzzsaw called Miami last week.
Yeah.
And that's the kicker for what they're doing right now.
Okay, so the ACC put 2 teams in last year, Clemson and SMU.
They'll be lucky. Yeah, but they'll put 2 in this
Miami
year.
was the 2nd or 3rd team out. We're going to run into the same situation this year.
Yeah,
it kind of does depend on the Group of 5 and Notre Dame, and then whether the Big Ten can actually have 4 teams or the SEC can have 4 teams go to the playoffs. So there's all these other external factors that are happening, and there will be a 10-2 team in the ACC that could fall right out on the edge, just like the Hurricanes were last year.
And you know what?
And it's not the Hurricanes this year.
And you know what? You said something, though, that about the Big Ten. We haven't discussed it. But the way the Big Ten is going, they're not going to get as many as they usually do because Penn State might not make it out of their conference with conference losses. And then you got to find out whether or not Illinois is for real and is Indiana for real.
Yeah, you have to find out about those two.
Because
Indiana's got to keep the Oregon game close this week.
They've got to either keep it close or win, one or the other.
Yeah.
I agree. That's a big
so
game.
we got Oregon, we got Ohio State. Let's say we get Indiana. I mean, USC. I mean, because I'm counting Penn State out right now.
Yeah, Penn State's out to me, too.
With the 2 losses.
With the loss to UCLA, too, being a bad team.
So
like
USC is the outliner. And then there's Washington, who only has 1 loss right now.
That's the Ohio State.
And then, So anyway, they're on the edge. It's a long season. We're only 1 quarter into the way into the conference play, really.
But that's the key with all of them. They've got to play each other. And Michigan is not gonna let some of these teams win that they know they can beat.
So is there 18 teams? I've lost count how many Big Ten teams there are now.
Yeah.
But it's a ridiculous amount. They don't play each other. That's the thing.
Yeah. There's so many teams that they don't always play, and they get the Purdues and the Iowas and all that.
Purdue.
And that's what happens. Poor old Purdue.
Yeah.
And that's the same way what happens with UNC and Wake Forest and those teams, too, that are in Miami. That's what you're kind of referring to.
Yes.
Is that you can play, you might play Miami or you might play Georgia Tech or you might play Louisville or one of these decent teams or good teams, and then the rest of your schedule is tailored to more of like Purdue or Wake Forest and those kind of teams that aren't very good.
Exactly.
And that's where you're going. Virginia
100%.
Tech, North Carolina, Wake Forest,
Syracuse, NC State. Pitt. I mean, it's all meh.
Virginia's going to drop out, is what you're thinking.
Yes,
Virginia will.
they're not going to be relevant.
And in Georgia
weeks.
Tech could be the SMU of this year.
I agree. I believe it could be Georgia Tech and Miami.
Easily.
I mean, in the ACC.
Well, what could possibly happen? We've talked about this. It's going to make a big deal what they do the last 2 ball games. Meaning, when they play Georgia, as long as they make it through all the way through, if they play Georgia tight, or if Georgia blows them out the building, and then they go to the ACC championship and Miami blows them out the building, it's going to be hard for
back-to-back blowouts. They're not making the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying. It's going to be hard for the committee to look at them and say, they're top 12 when they got blown out by 2 top 10 teams.
And that's why I don't believe when they say, conference championships don't eliminate teams. We're still going to have. No, man.
Oh yeah,
we're going to watch.
Yeah,
and you're going to react, and they always do react.
The only way
if
is
you
if
play it, they're going to be watching.
The only way is if they pull their starters and don't let their starters play or something against Georgia, just to hold them back and to be like, hey, committee, we're not playing our regular guys here. Go undefeated and play Georgia and say, hey, guys.
You think they'd sit out a couple players the way they stayed fresh for the Miami
I told you. I don't know, but I told you.
Here we go.
No, Christopher Multiconte. Syracuse was a contender until Angelina went down. And then Georgia Tech is overrated. UVA is underrated. Duke doesn't have the depth, but the starting talent is good enough. So either way.
But Georgia Tech didn't play anybody.
Yeah, that's
until Georgia at the end.
Until Georgia, and then whoever's the champion.
So having a 10-2 team, you can't count them out.
Yeah, so either way, we're going to take our next break, and when we come back, we're going to talk to Coach Tommy Joe Whitten of the Mosley Dolphins. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Red 17's studio line is now open. 850-215-6290. ESPN Northwest Florida. Here's what's happening.
Coming up on October 31st, it's the Cal G Squires inaugural golf tournament benefiting the Angel House Bereavement Center, the only provider of clinical grief counseling in Bay County. Costumes are encouraged for this fun day at Bay Point. Prizes for a hole-in-one, longest drive, closest to the pin, and best costume. To register you or your team, go to angelhousebci.org.
Good evening. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. For tonight, partly cloudy and a low of 74 with wind 5 to 10 miles per hour out of the north-northeast. Some sun tomorrow morning, a gentle breeze and quite warm near 81. Partly sunny and 85 in the afternoon and evening. 79 and mostly sunshine with a moderate breeze Friday. This is your Wednesday's weather brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida, Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida.
Looking for dependable civil construction in the Florida Panhandle? CBC Construction has you covered. From land clearing and drainage to roads and underground utilities, CBC delivers high-quality work on time and on budget. Locally owned and operated, CBC is trusted by schools, developers, and municipalities. To learn more, call CBC Construction 850-740-3815 or visit cbcconstruction.com. That's cbcconstruction.com.
Get ready. Week 6 of the NFL season is officially here. Your Jacksonville Jaguars are gearing up to go head-to-head with the Seattle Seahawks in our crucial catch game dedicated to the fight against cancer. Join us October 12th at Everbank Stadium as we raise awareness through early detection, risk reduction, and education. Lock in your tickets now at jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We'll see you at the bank.
The Kings of the Swamp.
Ball's loose at the 38. Gators got it. Wow.
Join Sean Kelly and the rest of the broadcast team as they bring you Gator football all season long.
Quick race down the near sideline. 20, 15, 10, the 5. Touchdown, Gators.
On your home for Florida football, the Gator Sports Network from Learfield.
The Florida Gators play here. Listen to select games on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Transmitting from the CBC Construction Studio. Now back to the Sports Blitz on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We're so glad that you joined us today. Maybe you're listening on your radio. Maybe you're listening on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. Either way, we appreciate it. Give us a like, give us a comment, give us a share. Don't forget also, you can call in at 850-215-6290 on the Red 7T's phone line. And right now on the Red 7T's phone line, we are honored to have the coach of the Mosley Dolphins on the phone. Coach Tommy Joe Whitten. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing great.
Man, I'll tell you what, you had the bye week, so you got to relax a little bit, got some time to take it easy just a little bit. But knowing you, Coach, you probably didn't take but maybe a half of a day off. Tell the truth.
We took Monday off. We took one day off.
Did you take any days off, Coach? Tell the truth.
No, I didn't take. I was at the radio show on my day off, so I was working.
That's right. He was working. Coach don't play. I'm telling you. That's what I was trying to get to. But anyway, you got a good one coming this weekend, or tomorrow night, actually. I was going to get you on tomorrow, but I had forgotten that they had moved your game, or they had your game scheduled for Thursday. So you go to Niceville tomorrow, and you're very familiar with Niceville, aren't you, Coach?
Yeah, it's my hometown. That's where I'm from. Grew up there. I played there, coached there. So I know it very well.
So you're going to have a lot of is your family, do you have some family that still live there? Is that where a lot of your family are from?
My in-laws still live over there. My parents, they've moved over here to Lynn Haven. So not as much family, but definitely have a lot of friends still back over in Niceville.
So do you feel like Niceville's turning their season around because of the back-to-back huge wins that they've had?
Yeah, no, they've definitely, they've definitely had had some big wins here recently, kind of with their back up against the wall. Obviously, they've had a couple of tough losses to some good football teams, but this kind of shows you the fight that they have, and we definitely have a lot of respect for them, and we expect them to be fired up and play really hard and be a good football game tomorrow night.
Yeah, the way they dismantled Gulf Breeze 56-6 on the road over in Gulf Breeze is pretty. I don't know. That seems like a turning point in the season, and then shutting out Godby. Now they're out of Tallahassee. Are they any good?
No, Godby was 500 is their record, but they've got some really good players. They got a wideout that's one of the. It's a junior wideout that's one of the best wide receivers in the country. He's been offered by everybody. Really talented. They got another wideout that's got multiple D1 offers.
Wow.
And quarterback was a D1 guy as well. So definitely had a talented roster and had a bunch of guys that were good football players.
So getting back to Niceville, what kind of offense do they run? What's their set?
Well, they base out of the spread. They're going to give you a lot of different formations. They got a wide receiver that's committed to West Virginia, and they got a tight end that's committed to James Madison. So they got two top end guys. They kind of try to play through them. The wideout he's a 10-4 100-meter guy. He can really run. They really try to get the ball to him over the top. They use the tight end to work the middle of the field, and they got a freshman running back, which is a little bit unusual, but he's obviously starting on varsity as a freshman because he's really talented. So a smaller guy but can really run and kind of shifty play out in space. So that's what they're on offense. On defense, again, they're going to give you a lot of different fronts. They're going to give you a 4-down front. They're going to give you some odd looks, and they're going to try to put a lot of pressure on the quarterback. So real aggressive on the defensive side of the ball. And like I said, on the defense, they got a middle linebacker, junior, a kid that moved in from South Florida that's got multiple SEC and multiple Big Ten offers. So they definitely got some talented guys on both sides of the ball.
Have you ever had a player be on campus there at school and you looked at him and said, how come you aren't playing football because of your size, or going to track practice and saw how fast some of these guys are and wanted them on your team?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Especially like whenever you're a new coach taking over a job. I mean, one of the biggest things is like you got to be able to recruit the hallways and find those kids within your school. And fortunately, being at Mosley for 4 or 5, going on 5 years now, we've got with the success of our program, all the kids, all those type kids want to play football, want to be involved in the program. And not too many guys walking the halls at Mosley that we were wishing that were playing football.
So let me ask you this. How important, with all of the speed that it sounds like they have and having that middle linebacker, how important is it going to be for JP to get the ball out of his hand this weekend or tomorrow real quick?
Yeah, it's going to be important to get out of his hand quick. The real key is going to be the offensive line and making sure they're doing a great job in their communication on the same page, and just having their eyes up and finding those guys when they're trying to bring extra pressure. And again, we got to make good decisions. We got to be accurate, and our wide receivers are going to have to win some one-on-one matchups, because when they bring pressure, that tends for them to play a little bit more man coverage. And like I said, we got to win those one-on-one matchups outside.
So you got the two tight ends, Land and Fletch, and tell us a little bit about the game plan for them. Obviously, I know people from Niceville aren't listening, so you can tell us, Coach. But tell us, we know that in times past you've talked about it, that you're going to get them their touches. Are we going to see a lot of the same stuff with them, with you moving them and making them, some eye candy at times, but also, not throwing them the ball?
Yeah, no, definitely at this point in the year, I don't think there's any real secrets about either football team. At this point of the time, there's enough sample size to have a feel for what both teams do, us and them. They know that we're going to play through the tight ends. They know we're going to move around and give a lot of different formations to try to help those guys get matched up. And I coached at Niceville for 6-7 years. the defensive coordinator is one of my best friends. He was in my wedding, so like we've known each other. Yeah, we've known each other our entire lives. So there's not a whole lot of secrets. So, he knows it's unique about one of the unique things about it. He knows all of our calls, and I know all of his calls. And like I said, there's not a whole lot of secrets in this game. Heck, we practiced against each other every single day for 6 years when we worked together. So there's definitely a lot of familiarity. There's definitely going to be little wrinkles, little adjustments. That's in every football game. But as far as just overall secrets, not a whole lot of secrets. It's going to be line up and who can execute and who's going to be the better football team.
Yeah, that's crazy. Let me ask you this, a personal question, Coach. So with that being said about you and your buddy, is there any kind of smack talk during the week? Is there any kind of side bets going on? I mean, do you tell him I'm going to hang 50 on your defense, all of that kind of stuff? What you got, Coach?
No, we'll talk a little bit before the game, but it kind of, we'll talk during the season, but the week of, we kind of go 0 dark 30. We don't speak to each other during the week. And again, we've played every single year. We like to mess with each other. I'll say, I'll tell you my first call if you tell me the first play or something, something like that, which we never do, but we still just like to mess with one another. And again, it's a lot of fun. Obviously, for 3 hours tomorrow night, we'll be intense competitors, wanting to beat the crap out of one another, but also at the same time have a lot of respect for them. Like I said, he's one of my best friends.
Yeah, that's so cool, though. I mean, it's cool not only just to go home and play and coach and take your team over the top, but it's also playing against your buddies and the fans and seeing your friends in the stands and all that. We've got something this weekend that's going to happen. You're our resident Auburn fan, so we've got to talk about the Deep South's oldest rivalry with them Auburn Tigers playing in Athens against them Bulldogs. What do you think about that?
No, it's in Auburn.
It is Auburn?
Jordan Hare.
Oh, it's in Jordan Hare?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Sorry. What do you think about it being in Jordan Hare then?
Oh, man, I think it's man, they're going to be playing a pissed-off Georgia team, Mm-hmm. They're going to be come in with their hair on fire. Obviously, Georgia doesn't lose a lot of football games. Being a rivalry game, but, some crazy things have happened over the years in that ball game. So, maybe hopefully Auburn's got a little magic up their sleeve, but, Georgia's going to come after the quarterback. Auburn's had some issues in the pass protection and some lost yardage plays, so hopefully they can get that fixed and, again, get back to running the football effectively and keeping Georgia on their toes. But I think it's definitely going to be a tough challenge for Auburn on Saturday.
So when you coached there, did you just do 1 year there, or was it multiple?
No, I was truly blessed. I was there for 1 year. The national championship year, I was there for 1 year and then went back to Jacksonville State to be tight ends coach.
Okay, so you were there. So y'all beat Georgia that year then?
Yeah, we did.
Do you remember that game? Where was that, at home or was that in Athens?
No, it was at home. That was at home. There was, if you remember, let's see, Aaron Murray was the quarterback. I want to say Nick Fairley knocked him out of the game. People say that he took some cheap shots on him, but he got back there. He roughed him up a couple of times. He hit him, smoked him one time in the back pretty good. He came in low on the knees one time, and I don't think if I remember correctly, I don't know if he finished the game or not, but it was I want to say it was a high scoring game, 40-something to 30-something, and but it was one of the loudest games I've ever heard at Jordan Hare.
Yeah, and it's tough to play at Jordan Hare. They can say what they want. It's tough.
What year was that? What year was that?
2010.
That was the Cam Newton year.
Oh, the Cam Newton year. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Fairley was from Mobile, Alabama, and he was an absolute stud. I remember him. Yeah, because didn't he go to Williamson?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, that's right. So as far as, did you have any, we're going to dive into this whole personal thing. Did you have much interaction with Cam as far as, while he was there at Auburn?
No, not really. Like I said, I worked on the defensive side. I worked on the defensive side of the ball. I was the defensive line GA. So, at that level, kind of
I mean, obviously we interact, but just as far as meetings on a day-to-day basis, the defensive side, we all kind of do our thing. Offensive side does their thing. And but the cool thing about it is Cam was there for 1 year, and just to see his maturation from spring practice to kind of nobody, was unknown, and, just how as the year went along, he got better and better, and just how he turned into just like an absolute rock star on campus, and had to have, private security and all this stuff. It was wild, but man, he was a great player, and it was fun to watch and be a part of.
With that Georgia game being in the middle of the season, was that the point where when y'all beat Georgia, did you think, hey, could really be rolling and keep on going like this?
Yeah, no, actually, if you remember back then, the Georgia game used to be later in the year.
Late,
it was late. It would be like Georgia, and then you played that FCS game, and then you would turn around and play Alabama.
Wow.
Yeah.
So week 10. Game 10th game.
And then when they added Texas and Oklahoma, and just kind of in fairness and trying to balance the schedule out for Auburn and help them out, they moved that Georgia game up kind of earlier in the year, so they wouldn't have to continue doing that Georgia-Alabama game back-to-back.
Actually, that was before A&M and Missouri joined. The year after they joined. So then the whole schedule changed around. Me being an LSU fan, and I grew up in the 80s and into the 90s and all that, I really liked LSU playing Georgia, and that whole Arkansas, when they joined in 91, kind of screwed that all up.
Yeah.
I hated that.
So let's get back to the game against Niceville. And when we talked on last Monday, Coach, you were talking about, Wyatt was kind of bruised up because of all those tackles that he made. Was it good for the kids that were they able to get some treatment, rest their bodies this week, and really get refreshed?
Oh, definitely so. We gave them off. We gave them off last Monday, and then we practiced 3 days last week. Now again, we were just in shells, a little bit lighter, but definitely just combing over the game plan, making sure we took advantage of that extra week of practice, and definitely got some extra treatments and extra ice baths, just to try to get us recuperated as much as we possibly could to get ready for this game this week.
So y'all score a lot of points. So, I mean, I don't want to say you can't expect much more out of the offense, but do you feel like you spend maybe a little bit more time with the defense because of the potential that, that's where you need to focus at?
No, I mean, the way we split up practice, we're going to spend, we're going to continue to do what we've done up to this point. We spent about an hour working on offense, spent an hour working on defense. I think it's important, and just as your messaging to the team, that you're just consistent in your routine. I think anytime you do something a little bit different or try to change something up, that just lets the team know that you don't have confidence in them or anything like that, which, I don't think that's by far the case. That we're definitely just, locked in. Obviously, we know things that we've got to focus on as a part of the game plan. And we're making sure that we're addressing those things, knowing what their top pass schemes are, knowing what their top run schemes are, making sure we know how to fit everything up, and making sure we're just prepared for the game tomorrow night.
That sounds good, Coach. Well, I want to make this announcement. I know that one of your players got offered a scholarship, and I saw it on Facebook today. Tell us who it was and where he got his offer from.
It's Joseph Chima, offense and defensive line, got an offer from Culver Stockton. And, man, I want to talk about a kid that's completely changed his life. When he came as a freshman, hadn't played a whole lot of football, was about 390 pounds.
Wow.
I can tell you this, his first practice he ever came to, he put his football pants on inside out. And that's what kind of player we were starting with. And just, man, his commitment to just being a better person, changing his life. He went from, barely having just above a 2.0 to now he makes all A's.
Wow.
And, again, has lost. Now he's around 285 pounds. So lost right around 100 pounds from his ninth grade year. And it's just completely changed. I can't tell you the kid I'm so happy for and ecstatic from. And there's no doubt he's going to go on to be really successful. And just an example to me of why football is important.
Yes.
And just what football can do for a young kid, and giving them structure, having accountability, having discipline, and making them feel like and being a part of a team and just what that can do for somebody's life. And I'm just extremely happy for Big Cheen.
That's awesome. Well, I wanted to make sure we said that. I had no idea of any of that, so that's just a great way to end the talk. But, man, thank you so much for coming on, and we appreciate it, and we're going to be pushing, and we'll talk the smack for you against your buds. So, yeah, just name them out, and we'll tell them. We'll tell them come Thursday or Friday morning. How about that? But either way, we appreciate it, Coach. Y'all be careful. Have a great time. We'll be pushing for y'all. When we come back, we are going to go through our pick'ems. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Get in the game. Call or text us now on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. ESPN Northwest Florida. Here's what's happening.
Here we go. The Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson will be awarding the Sports Blitz High School Player of the Week. This will go to the outstanding high school football player for each week. The player will receive a gift card from a local restaurant and an ESPN Northwest Florida t-shirt. Coaches, students, parents, and fans, comment on our Facebook page or call in at 850-215-6290 to nominate.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
So you've heard the saying that if you love your job, you'll never have to work? Well, it's true.
I've worked for Brock Lawn and Pest Control for many years. The commitment to the needs of customers
and their commitment to each employee makes Brock a company I'm very proud to be a part of.
Brock's core values are also mine. Give people more than they expect and always honor your promises.
This isn't a job. It's a service to help people live a healthier lifestyle.
Brock Lawn and Pest Control. Our family protecting your family.
Scott Graham here from Thursday Night Football on Westwood 1. Jason Benetti and Devin McCourty have the call as Week 6 of the season kicks off with NFC East action between the Eagles and the Giants. Philadelphia, the defending Super Bowl champions, are coming off their first loss of the season last week. Can they get their repeat hopes back on track? Find out on Thursday Night Football.
Eagles versus Giants. Coverage starts at 6:30 on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
If you build it, they will come. We're live from the CBC Construction Studios. If you have a problem with our hot takes, call us and say it to our face.
10 years from now, I'll be making a difference in this world while you'll be sitting there getting your diaper changed by your nurse.
The Sports Blitz is on the air. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz here with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Don't forget, you can call in, you can text in on the Red 70s phone line, 850-215-6290. If you agree with something that we say, you can call and tell us. Or if you want to disagree with Jeff, you can call him and tell him. Either way, we're excited. We've got about 15 minutes left in the show today. But today, as always, we're going to tell everyone who won the Sports Blitz High School Football Player of the Week, and that is none other than Arnold High School Darren Elder Sr., wide receiver, cornerback senior for the Arnold Marlins. He had 2 interceptions, 1 return for a 70-yard touchdown, 3 receptions for 30 yards, 3 pass breakups, and 1 offensive touchdown as well to go along with his interception. So really, the Marlins turned it around. They've won last week, and it was a big deal because of him. Great job. He's a great athlete. They play him on both sides of the ball. I've been fortunate to go and watch him, and it looks really good. I'm curious to see if somebody's going to grab him for sure because the kid out of Bluntstown that is a South Carolina signee, he broke one down the sideline, and Elder was on the other sideline, and he cut him off, and he caught him.
Oh my!
Yes, sir.
Goodness.
He sure did. And that to me, I was like, whoa. He was the opposite side cornerback. And he come all the way across the field.
Pursuit angles, baby.
And cut him off. Yeah. And I mean,
I'm glad to hear he's
shocked.
playing both sides of the ball. I know these days kids think they need to specialize, and I'm a huge advocate for play as many sports as you can, play as many positions as you can.
Yeah.
Even when I was playing football in high school, I mean, there were a couple kids that, who would have excelled on both sides of the ball, but specifically just tried to play one position. So I think it's awesome and very well-rounded for these kids.
Yeah, he'll probably sign. I'd say he signs with somebody. I don't know who, but he will.
So if you're a wide receiver and you get 3 catches for 30 yards with a touchdown,
in high school,
you're going to remember that. You get 2 interceptions, you will never forget that.
Yeah, and if you get a pick 6 for 70 yards,
and a pick 6 for
you'll
70
never
yards.
forget
So
that.
you scored on offense and defense.
Yeah,
but the pass breakups too.
Yeah, huge probably.
This guy was like in his zone.
Yeah, he was everywhere.
Yeah,
so he deserves it, and we're excited. I'll be going over there, taking a picture with him, and giving him some good.
You get his
gifts.
autograph?
Maybe.
I mean, he's going to make it big.
Yeah. There you go. We'll probably do something really cool at the end of the year. We'll probably bring them all in, and then we might give, a Player of the Year award. We're gonna do something really special for these kids that have won, and that's been great. But anyway, we got to
make a sports card. This guy's gonna have a high school sports card. That would be awesome.
That would be cool. And get a signature. And then sell them at the at Instant
We're already
Replay.
making money, baby.
Yeah, that's right. Well, the Sports Blitz logo at the top of the corner. Here we go. But either way, we got to get to this fun part to talk about how Jeff's beating everybody right now.
Hey.
He's up, and he's already made the point, so he's happy and excited about it, But either way, where are the standings right now for the Pick'em? Give us the standings. Go ahead.
So this past week, both Paul and I both won 8 games, and then Brandon won 7. So he's right behind us. So I think he's just trying to pick one little upset to type happen, and then sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't.
Most times it don't.
So that's what I would try to do in Mississippi State. I was trying to pick a little bit.
I need you to do a couple more of those, and let me get a couple more right, and I'm going to be right back in there to see.
So the difference is I'm up 3 games over Paul, and I'm up 6 games over you.
Okay.
So the difference between y'all are 3, and the difference between me and Paul is 3. So it's catchable.
Yeah.
Happens,
we're only halfway through the season.
And it's making Jeff feel really good.
It makes Jeff feel really good.
He gets excited when we get to this part of the show.
I wake up in the morning and I think, man,
I'm in the lead.
I'm in the lead.
I'm a winner.
And not only that, but Brandon, because you get the text messages that I do.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, look at me, guys.
I love our little group chat. I think it's funny, man.
So either way.
So we got Florida at Texas A&M as the first game to pick this week.
Yeah.
And I got A&M.
I have A&M as well.
Wow.
I think
I thought there'd be one dissenter on this one. And I'm looking at Paul right now.
Yeah. And where's this game being played
This is at A&M, so it's at Kyle Field.
Okay, yeah, give me A&M.
They just thrashed
crazy.
State,
I'm not,
Florida coming off of a Texas win, and we're going to pick A&M all the way.
I'll tell you what, if it was at the Swamp, I think I would go with the Gators. But I just don't. I think Dallas Wilson's going to be good, but I think Mike Elko is going to be able to run the football, and they're going to be able to do some stuff.
And it took 3 quarters just to be up 14-3 on Mississippi State that we've been talking about.
I know.
Not we, but y'all.
Yeah.
Okay, second game, Georgia at Auburn.
Yeah,
I got Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia.
I got Georgia. Yeah,
there's no. Yeah,
I don't think
them yet.
Coach already hates us. South Carolina at LSU. You know who I'm picking, baby.
Yeah, South Carolina, right?
No, heck no.
Yeah,
I'm going Tigers.
Yeah, LSU. There's just no. That's just those 3 have been a no-brainer for me. I mean, obviously, just because I don't think South Carolina is Lenore Sellers that good, or is it the offensive scheme and what they're trying to do at South Carolina? I think that's the biggest question. And then you got to ask yourself. I know Shane Beamer's been there. I know he's acting as though he's not going to Virginia Tech, but is Shane Beamer secretly going to give up this season and move off and go to Virginia Tech? Because they don't look like the same team. They don't look like the same passionate team. It just doesn't feel the same as it did at the beginning of the season. And him going out, getting hurt, and them taking the losses. The South Carolina team just don't look right to me. There's something going on in the building.
Wow. I mean, In my memory, what I remember from Shane Beamer is 2 years ago when they upset Tennessee, when Tennessee was traveling a season with only one loss.
Yeah, one loss.
And they tripped y'all up. And then last year when they went 9-3, and they were the fourth team out. And nobody might remember that, but they did beat Clemson at the end of the year last year. I'm not counting South Carolina out. I think this game's going to be a little bit closer than what people are thinking. This is a 9.5-point spread. That's crazy.
Wow, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
That means everybody's not buying Lenore Sellers anymore. That means that his buy down has gone way down.
Vanderbilt and Mizzou both beat them.
Yeah, but they're not anything to laugh at. I'm just telling you.
No, they could be the Arkansas, pull upset last year.
I'm worried about this Missouri game. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so next one is Alabama at Mizzou, and I got Bama.
Yeah.
I've got Missouri.
I knew it.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so I do have Missouri. Missouri's got their leading rusher in the conference. They're hot.
Yeah.
I think this is a trap game for you guys. I mean, if you're able to drop the ball at Florida State, I think it's very easy to be dropped at Missouri. So let's just see how consistent and if y'all are on that right track.
Yeah, I think Alabama's playing too good to lose. Do I think it's going to be struggles? Yes. Do I think it's going to be tough? Yes. Do I think it's going to be close? Yes. So either way, give me the Tide. But, man, if they come out and play hard-nosed, run football and are able to really control the clock and keep the Missouri offense off the field, limit their touches, slow the ball down, eat up some clock, control the line of scrimmage, I think we'll be fine. But, man,
going to be a tough one.
I think it's going to be tough.
He's got 730 rushing yards in this league. Next closest, 465. Bothwell.
Yeah, he's good. And, I mean, Pribula is not anything to just, wave your stick at either.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is going to be tough for Alabama, I believe. This is one of those games. We were looking at that Vanderbilt game, and everybody was talking about it, and then, here we go. We got to go at Missouri.
And kind of like what Tennessee fans have been talking. I mean, hopefully we're focusing on this game and not the Alabama game next week. Y'all play us. So, I mean, look at this game. Hopefully nobody's looking ahead.
That's the one. Go ahead.
Washington State at Ole Miss.
Oh, man, give me Ole Miss by 100.
Yeah.
This program, Wazoo is just kind of fell apart.
Yeah, I mean, with the portal, that's what happens to those outlier teams that have good players, and then what they just start poaching, and that's what's happened. I mean, you look at what happened. Mateer was there last year.
No conference.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're just kind of wandering out in the field by themselves in Washington.
Yeah, that's the largest SEC spread for. Well, I mean, they're playing Washington, but I mean, it's the largest spread. They're favored to win by 31.5.
Holy cow!
That might be one you might want to take though on the opposite end. I don't think they're going to score that many points. I think they're going to ease up the gas.
Over and under 58.
Because I think Austin Simmons will play this weekend. I think Trinidad Chambliss will get his touches and score, and they'll be up big, and then Simmons will come in and do some handoff duty.
So he just said 58 over and under. What do you do? Oof, 58. So let's say if it's 48-10. That's 58.
Yeah, I think it's going to
48-10. I want to almost take the under.
Yeah, I'd say under. I'd say it's going to be like 35-14, 10.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Something like that. Yeah.
Okay, we got all that. Indiana at Oregon. I got Oregon.
I got the Ducks.
Yeah. You going to go Indiana?
Where's it at?
It's at Oregon.
Yeah.
It's at Eugene. Eugene, Oregon.
Again, it's one of those things. If it would have been at Indiana, I might would have said it. But I've got to make some games up. I can't go but the whole time.
But it's not so much Bloomington. I mean, Bloomington's not going to blow up like the stadium. I think even if it was at Indiana,
it's on the other side of the continent.
Yeah, halfway across.
The part.
Yeah.
That's the part. I mean, it's on the other side. I mean, that's the jet lag part of it.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm going to have to go Oregon as much as I would like to have the upset right there. I think it's going to be close. I do think it's going to be close.
I don't think so. I think Indiana gets exposed on the road this week.
Okay.
So wait, do I have this right? Oklahoma's playing at Texas? in Dallas?
Yes.
Is Oklahoma, Texas? Mm-hmm. Okay. I didn't realize we were already on this game already.
Yeah. So is this game played at the Cowboy Stadium?
Dallas.
Yes. It's not necessarily a home game for anybody?
Well, it's AT&T, which is where the Cowboys plays, I think.
Literal over here.
No. Because I'm thinking maybe they were playing at
the Cotton
Bowl before, after the AT&T Stadium opened up. I think they were still playing at the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah, but it's at AT&T.
Okay, it's AT&T. Okay. Well, I hate to break it to you, but I got Texas.
Wow.
This is a game, I've got one of 3 games still in here not X'd out that are about to get X's. Man, I think...
Matsir's not back.
That's the problem.
I don't care. I think Oklahoma runs the ball well. I believe they pass the ball enough. I don't know. I do think Texas is going to come back pretty angry after that. But, I mean, Arch isn't who they've said he's needed to be. True. I don't think that I'm not saying I don't think he's the one. I just don't think this is his year. Yep. I don't think he's ready yet. I'm going to go Oklahoma.
I am too. So put me down for the Boomer Sooner, baby. We got to keep going. We got a minute left.
Arkansas at Tennessee. I got Tennessee.
I got Tennessee.
I got Tennessee.
All right.
Michigan at USC.
Give me at USC?
At USC.
Give me Michigan.
Oh.
Hurry, we got 1 minute.
I'm going to go Michigan as well.
What'd you go, Jeff?
I went USC.
Okay,
sorry,
good.
guys.
There we go.
Arizona State at Utah. I'm going Arizona State.
I have Arizona State as well.
I got Arizona State too.
What? Yeah. It's at Utah,
I don't care. I don't care. Okay. I don't care. Either way, this has been a great show, and I'm just going to tell you, it's going to be curious to see if we catch up. Brandon, it's been great today. It's been wonderful. Jeff, looking good in the gold. You got 2 more days that you can wear Saints stuff before the weekend, so you might want to get to the back of the closet. So either way, Jeff's going to be coming out of the closet this week. Either way.
I'll never wear Falcons gear.
You've been listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We will see you tomorrow.
The game going with ESPN Northwest Florida. Just because you get out of the car doesn't mean the Sports Talk and Live play-by-play have to end. Just say, hey, Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida. From Michigan Avenue to the Man Cave. From